Welcome back. You're watching World Insight with me, Tian Wei. The program is coming to you Monday to Friday on CGTN. The Summer Davos is dedicated to innovation every year, which is the most important strength of any nation or economy. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is one of the biggest topics this year. But will it be more about competition or cooperation? Is the future of AI as tempting as we have been told? Dr. Kai-FuLee, one of China's most prominent figures in China's internet sector, is more than excited to share his answers to those questions with us. Well known as venture capitalist and a technology executive, Lee started his exploration with AI decades ago as a PhD student when he developed the world's first speaker-independent continuous speech recognition system. Now he finally made public his ties to AI with his latest book, AI Superpowers. You started, Dr. Lee, research about AI back in 1992, if I remember right.
That was my first product demonstration.
Right, and before that, you were already writing papers about artificial intelligence.
Yes, in the 80s, yes.
Wow. Have you ever thought about, at the time when you were doing your research back in the end of 1980s, where AI is already what it is today, and it has already become the centerpiece of even geopolitical debate?
That's right. Yeah, we joke in our industry that back in the 80s and 90s, whatever worked in AI became engineering and product. AI was all the things left that didn't work. But today, everybody wants to put an AI label or on every product.
Tag.
Yeah, so it's good to finally have to be in this era of AI.
You work for Microsoft, Google, and now you are your own entrepreneur for almost 9 years.
Yes.
So you've seen the changes going on in the field and how big corporations like those are working with AI.
Yeah. I see a very widespread adoption in a number of key industries. First and foremost is the internet industry, because that's where there's a massive amount of data, and the initial application area for the likes of Google, Facebook, Alibaba, and Tencent, because they have so much data coming in, and by tweaking AI, money basically comes out of the AI engine by having more users, more clicks through, more profit. And then there are a couple of other industries that I think are going to be adopting AI over the next 10 years or so. One is financial industry, because of the virtual nature of the financial games and the large data nature. After that will be the retail industry, not just online but offline, because again there's real profits coming out of the machine if you can know what users want. After that will be the health industry, in terms of using AI in every way, but mostly to make us healthier and help doctors have a better diagnosis. And then after that would be manufacturing, basically replacing a lot of the repetitive work that's done in the factories with smart robots that can build products more efficiently, dependably, and also lower costs. And then a very, very big one, a little bit later, is automotive industry, as the car becomes autonomous and drives itself. And that will disrupt everything related to transportation, ride sharing, logistics, trucks. So this will be a very large disruption that will happen in phases over the next 10 to 15 years.
I see. How do you see the Chinese ones, for example, companies that are based in China, like Tencent, like Baidu, like Alibaba, be able to have this, in a way, a freedom of time before the multinationals, such as Google and Microsoft, displace their large operations in China? Or rather, is there a chance for the latter group to even have that opportunity anymore?
I think the China internet market will, for the foreseeable future, be largely run by Chinese companies.
Why would you say so?
Because of the very strong product suite. Tencent's WeChat product is better than Facebook's Messenger and WhatsApp products. Seen as Weibo product is better than Twitter's product. So product for product, the Chinese companies have not only become competitive, but in many cases better than the American competitor.
You described the United States, which is the pioneer in the quote-unquote discovery stage of AI. And now what you believe is the implementation stage of AI. And China plays a pivotal role. What exactly do you mean?
In the 1995 to maybe 2010, U.S. played a dominant global leadership position because all the efforts to find those discoveries were largely driven by America. But starting about 2010, people started taking the proven ideas over the era of discovery and cherry-picking them for implementation.
Yes.
And then when it comes to implementation, China has a substantial advantage because it has a larger group of hungrier entrepreneurs, as well as a large market which generates a lot of data. And no matter which AI algorithm you use, their ability to perform well depends more on having a huge amount of training data. It's almost like the rocket fuel for AI. So in the age of implementation, China has some advantages. The recent challenges we see that began with a number of U.S. policies about more restrictive environment in the U.S., I think in all the technological areas may become a barrier. However, in the area of AI, I don't think that would be the case.
Why not?
Because the already discovered technologies, whether it was invented by an American, Canadian, French, or Chinese, are in the public area. They have been published, and many of the source codes have been opened. And both China and U.S. have been using that open source of knowledge for some time. And that open source approach to AI is partly what got it to move so quickly in the last 5 to 10 years. So that part is out in the open, and the people are honing their skills to see if they can use the open source code, tweak it for a domain, and then use a lot of data to build good applications. So no trade barrier is going to stop that.
You have gone through a lot.
Yes.
Not only as a manager, as an entrepreneur, as an engineer, but also, just personal experience as well. You were struggling between work and life. You were also struggling with cancer. Now you come out of it, congratulations.
Thank you.
But you jump back right into work again,
yes.
Even though priorities have been shifting over the years. What do you make of this? Our human beings' capability, adapting to what we really want at heart. And the fact that we can now work with technology, but to what extent can it really help us? Or make us even more helpless?
I think for many decades or even centuries, we have been telling ourselves work is a key center of our very existence. And the age of AI will actually shatter that belief, because a lot of people's work will be disrupted by AI, especially those with routine, repetitive jobs. So I think it is time to rethink, is work really the center of our existence? It's certainly one of the important things we do, but if we make it the center, then if AI were to take our job away, then we're not only faced with a loss of income, but a loss of meaning. I mean, if my meaning depends purely on my job, and my job is gone because AI can do it better, then why am I here? And that could cause a large number of people to feel unhappy, depressed, and even fall into substance abuse. So I think we need to collectively rethink what's the most important thing in our lives. And when I faced death and had cancer, work wasn't a part of me at all. It was totally unimportant to me, and I saw how foolish it was for me to make my life depend only on work, and that things I treasured as I faced disease and cancer were really the love of my family and friends, and that's something I think we need to cherish a lot more.
Dr. Lee, you worked for the corporate world. You also have been working as an entrepreneur on your own. You witnessed 20 years of China's reform and opening up, different political stages as well. Do you still remember when you came to China's mainland, 1998?
Yes.
What it was like? What kinds of technologies were most popular then?
I think it was all about the PC.
It was all about the PC.
Executives would come to Zhongguancun, which at the time was just a lot of shops that put PCs together and then loaded lots of software onto them. And those markets are minimal right now. And many of them, including the building that I work in, used to be a market for selling PC parts and customized PCs. Now it's VCs and incubators and accelerators and entrepreneurs. I think the shift from 98 to today, the 20 years, we've witnessed Zhongguancun grow from a large electronics market into one of the 2 top centers of entrepreneurship in the world.
What is the biggest takeaway, you think, with this 20 years of being in China, in the tech world, entrepreneurship, see the debates evolving?
Well, for me, it was very fortunate that I was here during this most amazing 20 years, that things...
And you played a part of it.
I was fortunate to have played a part in it. I think what we see is speed, execution, nimbleness that I've never seen anywhere else in the world. And I see it with amazement, and I go back and think about what life was like 20 years ago, and really we've made phenomenal progress.
Where do you think the country should be going, if you have a chance?
Well, I think embracing fundamental technologies and rethink education, because with all the things that are going well for China, basic research is an area China is not yet co-leading the world. And the universities have improved a lot, but there's still a large gap with the best schools in US and Europe. And I think redoubling the energy to go into these areas, and also taking advantage of what we now know with the era of AI is coming. Why don't we use AI to leapfrog in parts of education? Why don't we invest in professions and skills that are more useful in the AI era, rather than just trying to copy the best of Western universities and high schools?
Way to go. Thank you so much, Dr. Lee, for being with us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. That is Dr. Kai-FuLee, the author of the latest book, AI Superpowers. Artificial intelligence is one of the most important topics for this year's Summer Davos. And that is all the time we have for today. If you'd like to see more, try to find us World Insight CGTN into your search engine, or check out our YouTube channel. Also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Sina Weibo. From me, Tian Wei, and everyone on the World Insight team, thanks for watching, and tune in again next time for insights across China and around the world.